Okay, so we're back. Another story time, another community building video, another long form content because the short forms just aren't enough time. Uh, I mean, that's the point. Why would you call it a short and then make it a 20-minute video? So what I want to talk about today, again, sorry, hold on. Before I get into any of that, hi, my name's Dominic. I'm going to be the person that is trying to build a manifesting community of people who are like-minded, who want to build and support each other, who want to continue not only their personal journey of self-love and bringing the level of abundance and bringing the level of positivity and bringing the level of self-care into the world that they live in, but also helping to affect that into the world of the people around them. Even if it's people that you don't personally know, people that you'll never meet in person. Like you might meet them like online, like you talk to them a lot and you get to know them, but you may never actually see them physically. I want to help build a community where there are people who are able to support each other, people who are able to, really put out there, hey, this is what's going on. I'm dealing with issues with health. My family member's sick. My dog is sick. I'm sick. Anything's going on. My kids are doing poorly in school. I'm having trouble at work. Whatever the issue is, being able to talk, being able to bring to light what it is that they're going through, what it is that they're dealing with, and then have a community that helps them to refocus that energy, to helps them to get themselves to a point where they see, okay, I can acknowledge, I can recognize a situation. I can say something's happening. I step in a puddle. I'm not going to lie and say my foot's not wet. What I'm going to do is to recognize, hey, at least I had shoes on and, I didn't step onto a jagged rock and cut my foot or whatever. And now I can go and I can take the shoe off and I can have, dry socks, or I can find somewhere that's covered and shaded and whatever it is, like help you to redirect yourself to a more positive. There's, I don't say always a silver lining, but there is a way to look at every situation as here's what I got to. Here's where I want to go. How do I make where I am move to where I want to be? Okay. So story time. What I want to focus on, and this is, again, I mean, the things that are highest on my mind lately are manifesting when it comes to money, because the money makes the world go round. Everybody's focused on money, but not money in the sense of a dollar amount. Now, yes, of course, there is a dollar amount. I've been having tons of dreams lately about winning the lotto, about, buying houses, about, giving to charities, starting companies for people so that, unhoused people and people in food deserts and all these different things. Just because I genuinely like helping people. I like talking to people. I like hearing people's situations. I like being able to help if I'm even small, remotely, possibly capable of helping them. I like being able to give to people. So the more I have, the more I can obviously give to people. I have recently been on a very big manifest. Like I've been feeling like a big, like, oh, I bought a $2 lotto ticket and it's going to hit for $400 million. Like just a huge positive shift. And the things in my life that have been happening make it seem even more likely. Not only that, because the money can come from other things. It can come from, brand sponsorships, working with companies, starting companies, whatever. It's not any, the how is not important. It's the feeling, it's the intention of the where I'm trying to get to. That is the feeling that is so strong, that is so pervasive throughout my life. The how would a billionaire react to this situation kind of thing. So, oh, not that I would go out and buy a $10,000, watch or whatever, but oh, I have this feeling that I have safety, I have comfort, I have the ability to go out and do things and experience things and, make relationships with people, make friends and go to different places to be who I am, to be the best version of who I see myself as. So part of that manifesting, part of all of the financial aspects of it has been there have been a lot of different places that I've seen lately, housing specifically, that I've never seen before. Now, and I understand that, and even before the comments come out, I understand that people are potentially going to say, hey, just think about it this way. It could be that you're seeing a house that was built, that is built by a developer, and they have similar houses. So if you've seen those houses, if you see the new house, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you connect the dots, like, oh, well, then obviously you know what it's going to look. But I've been having a lot more very vivid, almost lucid dreams of just walking through a house. And not walking through like a house like I've been in before, but just like a house like, oh, and that feeling of like, this is mine. Like, this is where I live, right? So like, this is my property. This is my space. And it's a very, very intense feeling because it's one of those, you'll wake up and you're like half awake and you can still kind of feel it. Like, you're like, oh, like I'm in the, wait, where am, okay, right, okay. I'm not 100% in there, but like I get what the feeling was that made me think I would be there when I got up. That has been happening so much lately. Like, so much. Like I can honestly say most dreams that I've had lately have been those types of lucid dreams that feel like I'm, honestly just like walking through someone's house. Like, walking through doors, the kitchen, the bathroom, the basement, the garage, walking around the property, like just walking around. It's been very intense. Like, almost reality shifting, like having to grapple with like, okay, like, am I awake now? Like, was I awake then? Like, am I remembering? Like, is that like a memory or a dream? It's been very, very intense. And before any questions, I'm not on anything. Like medication of any sort, like aspirin, nothing. No like mind enhancing, nothing. I am just having dreams. And it's been really intense. Like really intense. Like it's one of those situations where I've been thinking about a house, I've been thinking about purchasing properties, I've been thinking about manifesting like a job, of like, building companies, all those things. These dreams have been so real, so intense, that it feels like I'm shifting into a reality where it's like, oh, this that's where you are. Like, this is who you are. Like, those things you were thinking is the the dreams you're having are the representation of the things that you're thinking. It is the person you are. Like, that high version of yourself that you're thinking about, that you're like, oh, $100 million in your bank account, $150 million, $10 billion, whatever. That person that you're thinking, that feeling that you're having in the dream is that person. And it's happening a lot, like very, very consistently. So what I've been kind of walking around with is that feeling, like waking up in that feeling, having that first, maybe 10, 15 minutes that you wake up having that feeling. And then the reality, the 3D that people talk about a lot, where it's like, oh, like, like you're swimming uphill. Oh man, yeah, I'm really getting there. Oh, I see the crest. Oh, there's a waterfall and a rainbow and it's going to be great. And then you stop and then you like drift back. So like you can still see it, but you're like, you can feel yourself drifting back. So you can't deny you are no longer as close as you were because you stopped, but you're not still going in that direction, if that makes any sense. So I realized that in a lot of different aspects of my personal life, and again, like I said, story time, my personal life, I thought that relationships, I thought that finances, all of that stuff, not that it was easy, but that it was like a meritocracy. Like, it was like, you do this, you get this, right? Like, I thought that's how it worked. Like, you do this thing at a job, you make this money. You do these things paying bills, you have this credit. You do these things. And in a way, I think for a lot of people, that's how it kind of manifests itself, because they're like, oh no, like that's how it functions. Like that's how it works. But I've been seeing more and more examples of the fact that that is not how it works at all. Like, it is not, you plug something in like math, like 1 + 1 is 2, which that's a whole nother thing with the, it's a whole nother thing. Cause I did a video at some point, again, I'm not sure when I would have put it up in references, but Terrence Howard did a whole thing and like, the 1 × 1 is 2, and like all that, and just all these different, I was like, okay. But the idea, like 1 + 1 is 2. Okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. The same way that I would hear someone say 1 × 1 is 2 because you can't multiply something and not have more, is like when people are like, oh, if you have negative thoughts, you can't have positive intentions. Right? So like, if you're thinking negatively, like if your reality, your 3D is negative, you can't have been trying to manifest anything, because then it would be there. It doesn't make sense, because there's so many examples of people who tried to manifest, the people that like, oh, they kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing, almost got there and stopped, and then they didn't see the fruition of what they did. And again, the story time, I'll give you the story. Think about it like going to college, right? Pay a ton of money to go to college, depending on which college you go to. Community college is different. So, like, let's say you go to a prestigious college, you go to the Harvard, whatever. You're paying tens of thousands of dollars per semester to go to this school. Okay, you're paying. You want to do a bachelor's in, I don't know, business administration. You want to do it in, accounting. You want to do anything. You want to do a bachelor's. You're paying every semester. You're getting there. You're studying, and then you drop out. Did you not go to college, or did you not complete your focused intention to get to the goal you were trying to get to? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're not there doesn't mean you weren't trying, and doesn't mean that you hadn't put in effort, you just didn't finish. And it is a reality that, like swimming upstream, if you're going, and let's say you get tired or the current gets stronger, it can happen that way. If you're going towards something positive, the current of negativity can become more intense as you're trying to break through to get to that next level. And for some people, they haven't weathered it. They haven't built up the strength to get there. Perfect example. If you say, hey, I want to work out, I want to get into really good shape, and someone's like, okay, great. What's your ideal body shape? And let's say for men, it's, The Rock, and for women, it's, I don't know, Gal Gadot. And it's like, okay, cool. These are your archetypes. This is what you want to do. Or Simone Biles, like whoever it is. You want to look like Terry Crews. Whoever it is you want to look like. Okay, cool. How do you plan on getting there? If their response to you is, well, why do you mean I have to do it? I want to look like that person. Like, I just want it. It's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I can't stop you from wanting it. But what are you going to do to get there? And for a lot of people, and again, I feel like people might misunderstand what I'm saying with that, because they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, then you have to do work to get there, because manifest, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the energy is the work. But some people don't have a lot of energy. They haven't flexed that motivational, manifestational muscle to have the strength to get there, right? So what I'm saying is that for a lot of people, they've lived a very complacent or negative or kind of coasting sort of life. They've kind of drifted on the energy and the current and the wave of wherever they were. So they didn't build up any muscles to do anything. And that's nothing negative towards anybody. Listen, I don't want anyone that comes in, oh, how dare you? I've done tons of work. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just saying, if you're not where you want to be, let's work on getting there. If you haven't built up the muscle to swim and you jump in a pool, it might not go well, is what I'm saying. If you haven't built up the muscle to swim and you jump into choppy waters in the ocean, it's definitely not going to go well. You know what I mean? Like, in a pool, it may not go well, but you got like a lifeguard. It may not be that deep. Like, you can possibly kind of wiggle yourself out and you're like, oh, well, I've been in water, I'll be fine. If you then go into choppy waters, which is like the reality creating, you may not have the muscles and the strength to do that. So my goal is to build a community of life preservers, lifeguards, people on jet skis that are willing to throw you like, a line and kind of drag you to where you're trying to get to help you crest through the hurdles and whatnot, because it's not easy. It just isn't. It is difficult to want something, to desperately want something. If it's finances, you really need to get out of that job. You need to get out of that job, whether it's because of hiring practices, whether it's discrimination, whatever it is. They're not paying you enough, financially you're just in a bad spot, whatever it is. If you're having trouble with your kids, like, they're not sleeping, you're not sleeping, your dog isn't being trained properly, you're the person that you want to be with in a relationship, they moved away, their family member got sick, so they had to go and take care of them, whatever the situation is. I want to help people and to build a community where we can help each other to get through those moments. Because it's very easy to look at entertainment, to look at past examples of situations you may have personally been in, people were in, where they're like, oh, it's not supposed to be that hard. Oh, if the person really cared, they would try harder. Oh, if the person wanted to be here, they'd be here. Being reductive like that, saying, oh, well, if the person wanted to make an effort, they would make more of an effort, makes it seem like every single person's reality creating powers are like top tier, like they're best versions of themselves, and people are just oh, I won the lotto yesterday, I got this big house, I'm jet setting and traveling all the time. That's not how it works. I mean, some people do that. Some people have gotten to that point, whether they're born into it, or they create a business, whatever. Some people have been thrust into that. For a lot of people, that's not the case. And at least that I've seen historically, I have talked to a lot of people. Just for context, for a while, I worked as a police officer and like did community policing and talking to people just out in the community and stuff. That's a whole nother thing. And I can do a video about that if anyone's interested, but that's a whole nother thing. I talked to a lot of people that I've seen, people that I've talked to, and I'll just put a number on it, maybe about like 10,000-ish people that I've talked to, because I like went out of my way to like get out of my car, walk around the neighborhood, talk to people. Hey, what's going on with you? How's your day going? And just start conversation. Start some conversation with groups of people. Go to like a community center. Just start talking to people. Go to like a college and hey, I'll do a speech, talk to you and engage with people and have a conversation. A lot of times people will be in a situation and what they'll say is, it's not working. It's really negative. The other person doesn't care about me. The other person doesn't this. I am here to say something. Okay, here, I'm going to sit up and say this. I don't know who you are. If you made it this far, congrats, because I'm going to say something really nice to you, because you deserve it. But I don't know who you are. Male, female, you don't identify with a gender, you do whatever. Just the person, hello, hi, you, whoever you are. I need to tell you something. Like, we need to have like an honest conversation. And then I'll get back to the other things. But we got to have this honest conversation. You're a great person. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of happiness and joy and respect and all of the great, abundant financial goals and, professional goals and social goals and being the best parent possible and being in the best relationship possible, whether it's with one partner, if you agree with your partner's 18 partner, whatever it is, you deserve to have that highest, most actualized version of yourself exist. Okay, here's the little asterisk. You have to love yourself first. And that this is going to sound mean. So I'm going to try and say this in a way that isn't going to come across anything but like out of a place of, I don't know you as a person, so but like, I'm not saying this in a mean way. Like, I don't know you personally. This is a personal attack. If you love someone, let's say you're in a relationship. I'm going to use relationships as an example because if you know me, you know why I'm referencing relationships. Use relationships as an example. Saying that the other person is doing things intentionally to hurt you is possible. It is. Not saying people don't do things to hurt other people. What I'm saying is that if you love yourself enough, you cannot take things personally, right? So if someone's physically hurting you, completely different thing, get out of the situation, refocus, get yourself into a better spot. Okay, that's my PSA towards anyone. Again, no matter how you identify, if you're with someone who is physically attacking you, run, go. Again, small asterisks. Unless you guys have like an agreement where it's like, oh, like, we have our little moments and you like put me over your knee. If y'all are doing that, again, have at. Like, if you're both cool with it, fine. Who am I to judge? But what I'm saying is, if you love someone and you want it to work, like genuinely want it to work, like you're like, I see myself with this person. I'm going to tell you this now. You have to love yourself because nothing that they're doing, again, unless they're like actively, like I'm trying to harm you, is an intentional act to hurt you, right? And it can feel that way. Like I've been in situations, I promise you, I can, again, the more of you that comment and we engage and you want to know more, I'll tell you everything. I'm an open book. But again, I'm trying to make these videos kind of have a specific theme. But if you want those kind of videos, I can make those as well. They're not trying to hurt you or harm you. So if they're saying, oh, I don't have time because of work. Oh, I don't have time because they have kids and, you met them and now you're dealing with their kids and, oh, they're in a situation where you were long distance, now you don't see them as much and all you hear them talk about is how much they're with their kids. And sometimes when you see them, they bring their kid, like it just all this stuff. It's not meant to hurt you. I need you to look at me. Just look at me. It's not meant to hurt you. It's not. You are loved. You are a wonderful person. You are cared about. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And not, oh, love yourself and move on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to love yourself and then objectively, move yourself away from the situation and say, this person is saying they care about me. They've introduced me to their kids. Let's say they've met your family, you've met their family, whatever. You've gone through, let's say, the motions, and you're trying to get to a different space. Now, this could be you live in the same city and you don't get to see each other as much. It could be you live in different countries, you live in different states, whatever. If there is anything that you see as a hurdle that you are trying to overcome with the person that you are with, what you have to say to yourself is, I love myself, I love that person, and focus on the things that you love. So focus on the memories that you're making. Focus on the times you do get together. Focus on the availability of when you guys can talk to each other, video chat, text, what have you. I'm saying all this to say, I can promise you, if you only focus on the negative, it will crash and burn to the ground. And that's a promise. That's how it works with manifesting. And see, I tie that back. It's how it works with manifesting. If you want your relationship to work, congrats. See, how simple is that? It works. Yay. If you don't want it to work, and this is, look right here, tell everybody it doesn't work and see how fast it crumbles. Tell friends, tell family members, tell coworkers, tell yourself. Just keep telling people, oh, well, this person never shows up for me. Oh, this person's never here. Oh, this person doesn't do this. Oh, well, I haven't seen this person in, a week and a half. I haven't seen this person in, 3 weeks. You live in, Paris. They live in California. They haven't been here in 2 months. They don't really care about me. I talk to them occasionally, and when they talk to me, they seem distant. But okay, well, what about the times you were together? What do you love about the person? What is it that you care about? What is it that brought you to the person? What is it that's making you stay? And then engage with the person. Hey, I love you. I miss you. Can we have these things? Can we have these date nights? Can we do this? Can we do that? Try and engage in a way where you're getting more, not because you're saying you need to give me more, but just here's what I can offer. Can we do more together? And see how it works. I could be wrong. If everybody wants to come into the comments and be I did what you said and none of it worked, cool. Because then that means I get a bunch of feedback that counteracts the thousands of people that I've talked to that agree with what I'm saying. And then I have a new point of view. Then I'm wrong. You could try everything under the sun and the person will be like, you know what? Nah, I don't really care about you. I don't like you. And let me just and I'm not trying to just get out of this and I'm right either way. Small, again, asterisks with that. If you reach out to the person, you say, hey, I want more time with you. Hey, I want to talk to you more. Hey, I want to engage with you more. Hey, I want a relationship with you. And the person's response is, well, there are some people that I know where maybe I'll go on dates or this might not work out. So maybe I'll keep my options open, or, well, we get to spend some time together, but it's going to be a while till we get time again. And I don't really want to deal with the stress of not getting to see, it's fun when we hang out, but maybe then, and this is fine. Maybe you're not a relationship. Maybe you're just having fun with the person and it's fun when you're together. But in a relationship, there are ups and downs. There's a duality, just you can be somewhere and it's oh, you breathe in and out. Okay, cool. The duality. In a relationship, you can have good moments. Hey, everything's going great. We're together all the time. We're having a great relationship. You can have moments that aren't great. Hey, let's say, they get a new job. They're working on an oil rig and now you only see them 6 months out of the year. Well, that sucks. You saw them every day. Now you don't. Does the relationship now mean that it doesn't work because you don't see them? Because the money could now be way better than it was before. What if they were working at McDonald's before and now they're working on an oil rig? You got tons of money, but now you don't see them a bunch. You see what I'm saying? There could always kind of be something that could be that thing that is the reason why you're but that's not fair. Again, I'm not saying anyone should have to put up with or have to live in an existence where they're they are not happy and they don't like what they're experiencing. What I'm saying is, if you are unhappy with what you're experiencing, my suggestion, what I want this community to do when it comes to talking to each other and supporting each other, is to say, hey, What are the things that you're happy about? What are the things that truly give you joy and satisfaction and truly give you a sense of self and a sense of, being able to make it through? Okay. The reason why I said all of that, I'm going to move slightly off of the relationship, like still tangential to the relationship, but slightly off of that. The reason why I say all of that is because manifesting your significant other being the person that you needed them to be are all things that we talk about because of tangible things. So manifesting a large amount of money, you can see the money. Manifesting your special person, the person in your life that like really makes your heart sing, you can experience with that person. So then you're like, hey, they buy me food, buy me clothes, we have dinner, we do other more adult things. We, go out on dates, we meet each other's family, go on vacations. Great, cool. I will say it depends on the relationship, because some people go on vacations like 6 a year. Some people only do maybe 1. Some people vacation is going to this next city over and going to like an amusement park. Other people, it's going to another country and going to a beach. So again, it's like perspective, like it's what you want it to be. So it can be enough if it's enough. So what I'll say is, let's shift it slightly. Those are things where you're looking for like concrete, like this thing. I'm not a hyper-religious person. I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power. I believe in obviously manifesting, but I'm not a super religious person. But I will say this. Every religion is predicated on the idea that you love God, right? Like if you are a worshiper of the religion, you love that deity. Where is your proof? And I'm not trying to fight anybody. Don't come in my comments. I will block you. I will delete your comments. You are not welcome. Stop. No, but seriously, just don't do that. What I think you could do after this statement. But you're believing in something off faith, right? You're loving something off faith. You're loving that God. You're loving that God's ability, potential. Even if that God in your eyes wrongs you, you're still loving them. But you're moving forward with the like, hey, something went bad, but I'm continuing. That level of love, that level of commitment is something that I think that a lot of people tend to miss when it comes to relationships. I'm not saying exalt the person that you're with at the level of a deity, like they solve all problems. You are the person that solves the problem because you are the person that loves yourself. But that person that you're with, if you really want to be with them, to be honest, it's only now, because you don't know how many days you get. So you may have only made memories, let's say, for 2 years, and you were long distance, and then one of you goes down in a plane crash. I don't mean to be super depressing. You never get any more time with that person. But you had a good time with the person. Like, it doesn't make the fact that you never got to live with them full time, like, oh, well, then forget all the memories we made, right? Okay, so if you can change the moment and like how you perceive the moment, you can potentially change the future. Okay, it goes back to manifesting again. So if you change your intention, like I want this to work, then it becomes the family asks a question. What's going on? Oh, I haven't seen them. Oh, they're going through these things. Oh man, it's super crazy. You met them, right? This is the stuff they're going through. Because if a person cares about you and loves you and is opening themselves up to you, they're going to have no issue with you telling other people that they're going through stuff, good, bad, or indifferent. So if you're like, oh, they're really going through stuff with work right now. Oh, it's getting really busy with them with their kids or whatever. If they've like met the kids or they know what their job is, they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, tell them I said hi. That'll be about it. It's that intentional personal feeling or internal personal feeling that you have of like, I don't want to tell people this because like I want it to be different, where you might feel a way about talking about it with people, and then people say like, oh, hey, what's going on? They're never around. Oh, I never talk to them. Oh, it's like, okay, I mean, text them, call them, reach out, interact. You could potentially get something. Saying all this, again, if you know me, you get why I'm harping on this for so long. But it is something that you have to be able to work on, which is the self-love part. You got to love yourself. And then as you love yourself, as you are the best version of yourself, then you get to have the best version of the relationship you're in. And that's something you can work on together. You can take a relationship where you feel things are lacking and immediately make it the most fulfilling, most satisfying situation that you're in, purely on a shift in perspective. Because again, and I'll kind of end the video on this, take any situation you're in, relationship-wise, job-wise, anything, and you think it's negative, right? It's a negative situation. right? Okay. You just won a lotto jackpot. You've got $150 million. Are you still upset? If you can now see them whenever you want, you can buy a house, you can do, like, you can change all the little things you're saying are the issues. Like, this is the thing that is the problem. You change all those things immediately. Are you still upset? If the answer is no, then I'll be honest. Anything can change those situations. You can go from having $100 million in a house to now you've got no house. You guys are homeless. You're trying to move back in with your parents because y'all ain't got a place or whatever. Anything can change. So if the relationship is worth having, is worth sustaining, make it work. If it's not, again, love yourself. That's my biggest thing for this, is love yourself. Be the best you that you possibly can be, right? But if it's worth it, make it work. Because that person, that person that you want to have as the best version of themselves, being with the best version of you, they're going to be with you if you want them to be with you. So again, I'm going to link some other videos. Potentially, again, I don't know 100% when this is coming out in the realm of, I'm recording a bunch of stuff. That's why a lot of the videos, it's like the same like gray shirt or black shirt, because I record a bunch and then kind of jumble them around. But trying to build a community, comment your experience with long distance relationships, with, you know, dealing with family members who are sick, dealing with jobs that you don't like or that you love, and how that changed when you went from not liking your job to loving your job. Just comment, we'll interact, we'll build a community, it'll be great. Again, my intention is for all of it to stay free, because I don't want to have to charge anybody. I don't want any one person to potentially have, and I don't mean to make it sound this dire, but any one person have their life saved by being able to interact with people, and those people help them to paddle through those rough waters because they can't afford whatever my membership is. That would haunt me. So I don't want to have to charge anyone anything. I would much rather charge a bunch of companies who are throwing away money anyway. So they like, you're talking to a bunch of people are engaging with your stuff. Here's a bunch of money. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't need to charge y'all anything because they gave me money for stuff. So now we can just talk, we can build things, and now I can help you guys figure out how you want to get yourselves to the point of making the money, having the relationships, doing the thing that it is that you're coming to the community, trying to manifest, trying to have happen. So I'll keep putting out videos, I'll keep building the community, and I look forward to talking to you guys again and sharing more with you guys again. Put in the comments if you have any questions about specific things. If it's something that I can put into a video form that I think will be engaging for people to want to watch and want to, hear about, I'll put it out there. Might potentially put up some polls with, questions, and we'll go from there.